What's dragging me out from the air conditioning into the wild, into the concrete jungle? Well, it's Citizen's 100th anniversary, and for this 100th anniversary, they're putting on a special, one-of-a-kind historical exhibition. So that's where I'm heading to right now. Hi, how's it going? Hi, my name is Zach Boss. Thank you. As you can see here, we've got a full-on history from the very beginning in 1924 with the pocket watch. We keep going all the way down the line. Yep, we're still going. It's a long history. Oh, no, still more. To all the way here. Now, why are you seeing it start with the pocket watch and with the pocket watch? Well, because they've done a 100th anniversary pocket watch, which we'll put up a graphic here so you can get a closer look. It's actually really cool. It deviates from the original it didn't have a white dial, but this new dial, I hesitate to say snowflake for reasons I'm sure you all are aware, but the texture is this very snow-like texture on the new model, along with having a beautiful hand-finished movement. So Citizen can do it all from eco drive to even higher-end movements with higher-end finishing. So yeah, it's very cool. All right, let's keep looking. So I'm gonna be totally honest, like a lot of this I'm not super familiar with. So this is actually a really cool exhibition to visit if you are not super familiar with sort of the history of Citizen, right? Like this is a 100-year history. Wow, this is actually really funky. And that's from 1976. Interesting. I wonder what else was released in 1976.
What do you want?
Why do you love this piece?
I love the Auto Sailor, which is one of my favorite watches.
Okay.
I happen to have. And I'm very happy to see that here.
Okay.
So I love this.
And what about it do you love?
It's one of the few extreme divers that there is. I mean, there's the Cuba Kid, obviously. There's the Club Rock, but then there are not that many extreme divers that were made for saturation divers. And that piece is simply amazing for its pricing, that's what the titanium case, and the possibility to remove the bezel. I think this is a completely underappreciated piece.
It has a detachable rotating bezel, which might seem like something that would be kind of useless, but actually it's not, because ultimately with a dive watch, if you're really using it and you're taking underwater, over time, certain gunk and corrosion might build up in these sort of sensitive and hidden spots. So by being able to detach the bezel, you can then clean it and ensure that the bezel is functioning A-okay all the time when you need to use it. So that's actually pretty cool. Dude, I want to know, like, what are the 4 favorites? Like, if you come to this exhibition, what are the 4 people need to see? So,
I mean, I'm kind of biased, but I think the 4 that you have to see are this Kriston solar cell from 1976. It's basically the start of EcoDrive. It's the first solar-powered watch we created. So we'll be celebrating our 50 years of EcoDrive in 2026, which is pretty cool. But definitely one to check out. You see those solar cells around the dial? And then number 2 would be over here. Is this Chronomaster from 1967. It is a vintage automatic day date. You see the kanji date wheel there. Really cool. I actually am somewhat partial as well because I have a manual line, just regular date that I picked up in Japan, kind of like its younger brother.
oh no, wow.
Love that piece.
Yeah, and remind me, is there now in the modern line of Chronomaster?
So there is. It's called The Citizen. So that was actually started over here in 1995. This is quartz, but has since eventually transitioned to EcoDrive and a few mechanical pieces. The cool thing about the Citizen line is the movements. So whether it's mechanical, you have a very high spec, high accuracy mechanical movement, but the star of the show are the EcoDrive movements that are plus minus 5 seconds a year, perpetual calendar, jumping local hour hand, so really, really cool stuff. But my 3rd favorite watch is this brute of a guy here. It's the 1,300 meter professional diver. Came out in 1982. We reissued a watch similar to it a few years ago, but nothing quite beats this guy here. I love the design here. It's very unique. One of my favorites of all time. And then last but not least, you can't go on without seeing the original Aqualand. It's kind of like the first dial computer, if you will. It's a analog digital movement, a depth gauge right there on the left-hand side. Really, really cool. We're celebrating 40 years next year. We have the Loom dial here in the States, one of my absolute favorites.
Okay. Now, I got to put you on the spot, because as we were getting to your fourth favorite here, what is the Soundwich?
It's about as 80s as you could get. It's a fusion of technology and design. It's a digital watch that was developed for high performance and enabling a radio to be heard clearly. So basically, you can listen to the radio with your watch. It's your first Apple iWatch, if you will.
Yeah, I mean, you can really see how with Citizen, there's just so many firsts on the, whether radio control or on the quartz front. You gotta respect Citizen for going off the beaten path and really honing in on precision. I mean, that's a very Japanese thing, right? Just aiming for practical beauty, precision, accuracy, and of course, even in all of this, aesthetics. And the earlier stuff that we've seen, like this world's first radio controlled watch, is it the most easy sellable aesthetic? No, probably not. But as time goes on and these watches are further developed, whether it's EcoDrive or the radio band, ultimately it just showcases they have this distinct flex. There's not many people who can do what Citizen does. Right? It's a very select few, and arguably its biggest rival in this field is also in Japan. So it's a very Japanese sensibility. So to reiterate, you've got practical beauty, precision, and high accuracy. And that's what Citizen really appears to be all about. In its 100 years of existence, that's been the pursuit. You got to give a lot of credit for that.
So there you have it. That's the 100th anniversary exhibit from Citizen. Thank you for watching, and as always, subscribe.